students that are not here, that were not here today. Today is Monday, February 8th. All right, so today, if you have not turned in Friday's e-learning, it was due by the end of your class period that you were supposed to be in here. So get those turned in. We went over the puns. Those were also due at the beginning of the class period for the puns for last week. So there were 5. Monday was nickel. Tuesday was hafnium. Wednesday was indium. Thursday was protactinium. I'm holding this so you can see the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then Friday was europium. And that was the one, what do you do if you're a cowboy in a rodeo? What do you do to the calf? You ropium. If you're the cowboy, you ropium. So there's the answers to the puns. Make sure you do the order that you're supposed to. It's the element name, then the element symbol. After, let's see, name, symbol, atomic number, atomic mass, group number, and then period number. If they're in the actinides or lanthanides, the group is either actinide or lanthanide. You don't do the group this way. They're in that special series. All right. Okay. And then in class, which was on my lesson plans, we did page 111, 1 through 16, which was the study guide one. And I'm going to go over the answers for you so that you can check your work. There's a test tomorrow for chapter 3. It's 26 questions. If we are not here for whatever reason, if the weather gets crazy on us, if we're not here, we will not have a test. I'll have to come up with something else. Probably Learn Smart will be part of it. If we're not here, we will not have a chapter test. If we're on a 2-hour delay, we will have a chapter test. There's enough time to do 26 questions, okay? Especially the format. It's matching, multiple choice, and 4 true, false. So, chapter 3. Look over everything for chapter 3. Okay, so then we did page 112, 1 through 9, and then pages 114 and 115. We did 1 through 14, but 11, 12, 13, and 14 are not directly on the test. So the last group we got a little behind, so I moved it to 110. But I'll give you the answers if you want, so you can have them to study. All right. All right. So page 111. Number 1 was period. Number 2 is metals. Number 3 is ductility. That's the word that means it can be drawn into wires. That's a physical property. Some of you missed on that worksheet. Some of you missed those were physical properties, and I even talked about that in class, how those were physical properties that moved across the period. I'm not sure how so many of you missed that, and it was in your guided reading. So anyway, several missed it on the e-learning content practice. Number 4, metalloids. They have properties of metals and non-metals. Sometimes they're good conductors, sometimes they're good insulators. Metalloids. Number 5 was non-metal. Number 6 is metalloids. Number 7 is non-metals. This is the concept map, and it's an interactive one. Don't forget it's in your resources. In your online textbook, go to resources instead of going into the book, and it's the interactive concept map for chapter 3. It'll be on the study guide page, and then you can just move the little things around and make them work correctly, and that's actually a good study tool. So 8, 9, and 10 are luster, ductility, and malleability in whatever order. Again, those are physical properties. We've studied physical properties. You guys should recognize those as physical properties. Those are not chemical properties. They don't change the identity of the metal. It doesn't change it if you run an electric current through it. It doesn't change it if it's shiny. It's a physical property. 11, 12, 13 alkali metals, alkaline earth, and transition. Those are the three categories of groups that they had on there. Just there. There's still halogens and noble gases and the carbon series. 14 semiconductors, 15 halogens. Hey guys, don't forget that halogens, in that video that we watched, and I pointed it out more than once, halogens are salt formers. That is on the test. They will mix with an alkali metal in group 1. Halogens are group 17. They are group 1. Alkali metals are group 1. When you put those two together, you get a salt, sodium chloride. Sodium's group 1. Chlorine is a halogen. You put them together, you get salt. Halogens means salt former. And then number 16 on the study guide was noble gas. All right, on page 112. Number 1 is C. It's the current periodic table is it increases by 1 proton, which means it increases the atomic number as it moves across from left to right. It increases the atomic number by 1. That was tweaked by Moseley. He did that. Moseley did that. Mendeleev, when he made it, originally made it by mass. And remember, I had you even we looked at the periodic table for a couple places where they would have been in the wrong order because mass should be also increasing, but a couple places it doesn't because of less neutrons. Okay, so Moseley was the one that created what we use now, increasing by 1 proton, which is increasing by the atomic number 1 from left to right. Mendeleev did it by mass. All right, number 2 is C, 3 is B as in boy, 4 is A. You gotta know those physical properties of metals. 5 is B, 6 is D, 7 is B, 8 is B, and 9 is D. And then on page 114, 1 is C, 2 is B, 3 is A, 4 is B, 5 is B, 6 is D, 7 is D, 8 is A, 9 is D, and 10 is C. Number 11, those that are in the column labeled A, those are metals, and column B, those are non-metals. Then the question is, would silicon belong to one of these? No, silicon is a metalloid. So it's not a metal, it's not a non-metal, it's a metalloid. Number 12, it says which group yields the strongest building elements? Well, metals, obviously. Metals have strong properties. Non-metals, they're brittle or gas. So if they're solid, they're brittle. You don't want to build things on brittle things. You could just pound it and it would fall apart. So, number 13, how does the periodic table of elements help scientists today? It helps us come up with new alloys for different properties that we're looking for. It helps us understand the makeup of everything, how things are made, understand the physics of it. It leads us to understanding new things we might try for medicines. And then what connection does it have to the human body? We're made of the elements. 97% of our body is made of the non-metals, but we have trace metals that we need, like we need iron, we need potassium. So we're made up of them, and we need traces of other ones. We don't want mass quantities because then we can get toxic. But we do need our elements to be healthy. Calcium, we need calcium for our bones and teeth and stuff. So, all right, we are taking the test tomorrow, so unless we're on e-learning, if the weather is ridiculous. So reach out to me if you have any questions, specific questions. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow. Oh, one last thing. Learn Smart 3. It's worth 100 points. Learn Smart 3. It's worth 100 points. You need to get it done. Okay? And it's on connected.mcgraw-hill.com. That's the web address that you go to. And I would use Safari. All right.